Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Finally came back from the Houston Regional. I didn't do quite as badly as I thought I was going to be honest with you. I played with Shadell Dinosaurs. A lot of good matchups. Unfortunately, there were two instances where I lost due to time rules, but I generally should have won. But again, my matchups were just stalling for time really, and it just kind of got annoying. First one was Danger FTK. I cherried his Firewall Dragon twice. And on game 3, again, I could have won if the time didn't run out. I had enough firepower left over to win by default, but of course, he used his long-ass turns to his advantage. The second game that I lost due to time was mainly Paleozoic Frogs. Same situation. Since it's a deck that just primarily hits you with a lot of stupid crap, it just locked me out to the point. But again, on game 3, I could have won. I had enough firepower, but time just ran out on me. But then again, there's always next time, and plus Danger FTK might not be a thing for very much longer, so yeah. So anyway, thought I'd bring you guys a much needed updated video actually on my Darklord Dark Lair Deck. I know one of y'all been requesting this, so, well, here it is. Made a lot of changes, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. So starting off with your Darklord Core, you're going to be starting off with 3 Darklord X-Gel. This card's great. She acts as a trade-in in her right. You can discard this card along with 1 Darklord to draw 2 cards. And pretty much all the Darklords do a similar effect where you pay 1,000 life points. You can target 1 Darklord card in your graveyard, shuffle it back into your deck, and use its effects. Next up, we got our Superbia, which acts as a monster reborn. If it's summoned back from the grave, you can special summon another fairy-type monster. 2 Darklord Nastin. Easy to summon. Discard 2 other Darklord cards. Special summon this card. And again, they all pretty much do the same recycling effect. 1 Darklord Zerato, easy to summon. It's a level 8 as well. If you have 4 more dark monsters with different names, you can summon this card by distributing 1 dark monster. Send 1 dark monster from your hand to the grave. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls, but it has to blow itself up at the end of the turn. 1 Darklord M-Disc, kind of acts as a somewhat of a monster reincarnation. You discard this card and 1 Darklord, then target 1 Darklord card in your grave to add it to your hand. But it's typically easier to summon. It's a level 6 monster, so it just requires 1 tribute. 1 Darklord Morningstar. Really like what this card can do. Cannot be special summoned, unfortunately, but if you tribute summon this card, you can special summon Darklord monsters from your hand or your deck up to the number of effect monsters your opponent controls. And while you control another Darklord monster, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. And once per turn, you can send you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of Darklord monsters on the field. And if you do, you gain 500 life points for each Darklord monster sent to the grave by this effect. And the last of our Darklord Core, which is the only one I don't necessarily like, but he's kind of necessary because, he's a Foolish Burial. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 Darklord card from your deck to the grave. And that's pretty much the only reason I run Ukabak. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for the Darklord Core. Now let's move on to the Dark Lair Core. So of course you're going to be playing 3 copies of Lilith. Pretty standard. You got to search out your Darklord traps. They're all normal traps, so yeah. 3 Arma is your terraforming, and our searcher for most of our cards really, because a lot of our cards have 2,000 defense, and you can also search out your Darkest Diabolus as well. Which, speaking of which, only 2 copies of Darkest Diabolus. You don't really want to run them at 3. It's too bricky at 3, so 2 should be enough. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. No hand traps. I really don't find hand traps too necessary, because the point of this deck is just to kind of fill up your board with monsters, and just kind of recycle all your traps. So, and our traps do have a lot of firepower with them, so you can easily disrupt your opponent fairly well. 3 Lair of Darkness. Naturally, you want to turn everything to dark monsters. 3 Banishments. This basically adds our Darklord cards from our deck to our hand. 3 Contacts, which is our monster reborn of the deck. Now for draw strength, I decided not to run too heavily on trade-ins and Allure Darkness, so I'm just going to be running 2 and 2, solely because the deck is very susceptible to Drone Lockbird. That is the primary hand trap that kills this deck. Ash Blossom doesn't necessarily do a whole lot, but yeah. If we get hit with the draw, our turn is pretty much done. But I don't like to run too many draw strength cards, mainly because we don't have a whole lot of level 8s. We got plenty of darks, yeah, but not enough level 8s to really run 3 trade-ins, and trade-in has proven to break me out a lot. But with Allure Darkness, I decided to run 1 copy of DDR to go with it, just because, I do want to be able to bring certain monsters back Just can't be that Darklord Morningstar, of course. But if so, you know, you can always bring this. You can bring back one of your important monsters back, like Lilith or Arima, and just, you know, go off from there. And that's it for spells. So now moving on to the trap cards. Playing 2 Sanctified Darklords. This card's great. You can send 1 Darklord monster from your hand or face up on the field to the grave. Negate the effects of 1 effect monster this does not target, and until the end of the turn, well, the effects are negated until the end of the turn, I'm sorry. And if you do, you gain life points equal to its attack points. So, and note that it says equal to its attack points, meaning it doesn't have to be the original attack points. And again, it's recyclable thanks to the Darklord effects. We got 1 Rebellion, which basically pops one face or destroys 1 card on the field. So yeah, as long as you have Darklord monsters for cost, or then again, you could also just pitch it away. You could recycle it through the effect of your X-Gel or Nastin. 1 Enchantment, which is our Mind Control. The only virus card I decided to run was just the Eradicator Epidemic Virus, since we got plenty of monsters that have more than 2,500 or more attack points, and against Gokis, you want to hit spells, or Sky Strikers. Well, Sky Strikers is a little tricky, because, you know, they get their power from spells. But if you wipe out their entire hand, then that pretty much just doesn't do much good for them. On Ultra guys, you want to hit with traps, obviously. And as a negation, 1 Lost One. You know, you definitely want to hit your opponent by cutting his opponent's monster's attack points in half and negate its effects. So, yeah. Alright. So, before I go into the extra deck, I'm going to go with the side deck first. Got 2 Arklord Christias. You know, just basically our Vanity's Fiend. And I only like to use it on certain matchups, not everything. So, but Christia is a good way to, you know, it's a level 8 as well, and it's easy to summon as long as you have exactly four forever type monsters in your grave, which isn't typically hard. 2 Destrudo, just to get a synchro play. 1 Dark Arm Dragon. We got plenty of darks, and it's easy to get exactly 3 in the grave, so Dark Arm's a good side card. Now, because this deck, I like to go second with this deck, but if I am going first, I like to set in my Called by the Graves. It's a great card to deal with that 1 Drone Lockwork, because again, that card shuts you down. 2 Econs, for pretty much obvious reasons. 3 Darklights. Distribute 1 Dark Monster with 1500 or more attack. Destroy all monsters that were special summoned this turn. So, really good card to stun your opponent. And finally, Storm Mirror Force, which is really powerful against Thunder Dragons or U-boards, you know? Oops, I accidentally bumped the camera there. And that's pretty much it for the side. Now let's go and move on to the extra deck. So, starting off with the Xyz monsters, actually, I'm going to be playing 1 Levier, the Sea Dragon, which recycles our banished cards, like mainly our level 4 or lower ones. Because again, those, sometimes you will have to sacrifice those, but if you can bring them back, Levier is definitely there for you. 1 Downerd Magician, you know, just an old school combo, and I like to go old school sometimes. 1 Galaxy Tomahawk. We do have a few level 7s both on the main and the side deck. 1 Tachyon. 1 Heretic Sun Dragon. And 1 number 38. So, all great options. I definitely recommend these. And of course, since we do have Destrudo on the side, I like to go with the Black Rose Dragon play just to nuke boards if I have to. And that's generally it. From here on out, it's just Link monsters. So starting off with our Links, I'll go with the Link Force. Got the Bomber Dragon, Saryuja, and Firewall Dragon. All really great choices. For the Nightmares, we got both Phoenix and Cerberus. You know, just for some built-in protection. And to go with our Tomahawk, we got Cleafort Genius. Got plenty of darks, so we got Wee Witch's Apprentice, and the 1 Link Spider, since we also produce tokens, so generally that's how we make it. And yeah. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this update, and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.